The Astros are still in a scandal. The Cy Young and MVP award winners were announced, and we will talk about them. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Baseball. It's a podcast. We talk about baseball, Major League Baseball. Sometimes Jake tries to talk about other sports, and we stab him in the throat with our words. My name's Jomboy. I'm coming to you from Harlem, New York, and I have my co-host Jake, the aforementioned dude who we stab sometimes, coming to you from Denver, wearing his Breckenridge, Colorado pocket patch salmon-colored shirt that I am a big fan of. How you doing, Jake?
Good color on me. Pinks and purples. They show well on my skin tone, a woman at the Atlanta airport said once. I'm good, man. Mentioned Breckenridge. I think we're going to get our first skiing this weekend. Excited for that. And, yeah, I mean, how about I appreciate you said baseball in the news cycle. That's something I like, good news or bad news. And a couple other people did say that. But yeah, shout out to football for trying to get into things by a player trying to rip a human's head off and then beat him with the thing that was protecting his head.
Here we are talking football once again.
I told you. I knew you'd like that. But I'm good, man. Yeah, we've got a little bit of player movement. It's been under the radar with everything that's going on with the Asterisks, LMAO. Have you heard that one, Jim?
I have. Someone emailed me and said, "Am I the first to do this?"
It's so tough because you and I are like inundated to a blind degree with it, but it's now anytime anyone hits a table or there's a video of someone drumming, or even the football thing last night, someone's like, oh, it must be a changeup. And it's like, that joke was cool for 24 to 48 hours. I think we got to start getting better material out there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people have already, but that's what people do. They can't think of new jokes, so they just hammer the jokes they've heard.
And I think I do want to give a quick an apology to Astros fans before we say probably more bad stuff about them coming up in a minute. Dude, it's got to be bad for the diehard baseball fans that are Astro fans because there's no defending what's currently going on. So the people that are defending on it are the breezy Astro fans that just want to talk trash on the internet, and they're making them look awful right now.
Oh, yeah. The casual fans are always the ones that make your fan base look bad because they have nothing at stake, so they just talk out your butt.
We don't. Yes. Integrity of the game. We don't care about that because we got a banner. Well, you don't like the sport. I got news for you. You don't enjoy the sport of baseball, and that's what I like. What's going on in Harlem, Jim? Are you in Spanish Harlem? Can I start saying that?
I don't believe I am. I think that's got to be Southern Harlem.
I love Maria Maria, one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah, well, I like that song by Elton John where it talks about Spanish Harlem.
Would you look at this?
No,
couple peckerheads that like Spanish Harlem, never been.
Spanish Harlem is on the east side. Dude, that Elton John song is fantastic.
Meatball down my pants make me think one of my testicles fell out.
Well, Mona Lisas and Mad Hatters. It's a good song.
Good song. Yeah. Like Elton John.
Oh, yeah.
Similar personalities, me and him.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
I'm going on two Houston radio shows today.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You think they're going to come at your neck?
Well, one emailed me. Dude, I have a lot of... everyone wants to talk to me, and it's like, I don't know. It's not really worth it. But I'm trying to find the email. They asked if I could come on, and I said, hey, Houston kind of hates me right now. Are you trying to railroad me?
Is this a trap?
I said, either way, I'll come on.
just with like a little heads up if I need to have my shield up or not.
They said it's going to be friendly. What you were saying, and a lot of people just aren't looking at all of the evidence, or not evidence, accusations. And I'll give Houston fans that. It's just accusations. A lot of people, like when I was looking, like they don't understand what I'm doing. I'll say that. Someone blew up with Astros Twitter. They don't understand what I'm doing. People are saying things, players and coaches, and this is a little update, and then later on in the show, we're going to talk about Cy Young winners, some movement, and MVP. But people keep coming out and saying things. Like I told you personally about the eye-line thing I heard and the bullpen catcher in the bullpen. That came out publicly, so then I went and tried to find something. I didn't really find anything because it's going to be impossible to find, but I just posted that Springer video, and I was like, he's kind of looking off to the right, but we're not going to find any evidence here. I literally said that in the tweet. Like, there's no damning evidence from this. And then the whistling, you can hear whistles, but honestly, I don't know if it's just a Houston thing or if it's every stadium. I've only tried one. If you listen for whistling, it's almost like, holy shit, why are so many people whistling?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it's kind of in a tough spot right now because, and I don't want to give this as too much of a compliment to you or too much of an insult to other people, but like, I don't know. I saw there's a video on my feed today that was like a guy that got a video and he's like, I don't know if this is something, but check it out. And like those people kind of aren't helping right now. Like if you just grabbed a video and like the video was Springer striking out on a slider, but there was like some clapping beforehand, and it's like, hey, we don't need this one. we've got other data. This one's cool for now. Yeah, and I think that's the only. Again, I hate going to bat for you, but I thought it was funny the couple comments that have been like, all right, dude, like let it go, like. Kind of no. This is not only the biggest story in baseball. This is the biggest story in sports right now. And yeah, like it's kind of cool for everything we've got going on, but also it's a big deal. And the only people that are saying it's not are Houston fans and probably bad Houston fans. So it's tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of Houston fans that are in a position they're like, this sucks, but I'm going to wait. And I appreciate that. Like, I'm going to wait until it's 100% or not because this sucks if it's true. It looks bad. I hope that it's not. But someone's like, you're putting your integrity on the line. Like me. Like, I'm going out and fishing for these. Players are saying accusations, and I'm just trying to find video to back that up. And sometimes I haven't been able to, and sometimes the banging is very, very easy to. Yeah.
And, I mean, like, people within the sport are contacting you. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, at first it was, sounds like the JFK shooting is like Jomboy operated alone. Now it's like, this is a very real thing, people.
And the other thing, and we'll move on, I promise, is that, actually, I forget what I was going to say.
All right. Nice.
Fuck.
Strong close.
Damn. That's how you win the room over. Like, oh, he's...
Where are you? Here's one thing that we haven't talked about that I don't think baseball has fully talked about yet. And again, we're kind of in a tough spot because among some of the discovery stuff, of course, there's a couple opportunities to take a couple jabs at Houston. And, I mean, it's sports. You might as well, hit him in the belly a couple times, see what happens. But how far deep do you think this goes with, like, Cora and Beltran? Because, I mean, it seems like they're the originators, and now they manage two of the bigger teams in the sport. One of them that won the World Series the year before.
Yeah, so, I mean, what I can tell you is that it's been reported, and I've been told that Cora was very much put this in place, or was one of the people that helped put this in place with the bullpen catcher at the end of the year, and he brought the bullpen guy to Boston with him. So, I don't know. I think it's systematic, and that's the problem. That's the root of it. That it was like, It was a system put in place. And then that, and that we don't have any evidence of this, just a couple hearsay. If the earpiece thing is true, right, that the bullpen catcher or coach was wearing an earpiece, that means that they heard the banging, that getting faded out by the crowd, and thought, we need another solution. And then, like, you know what I mean? So that means this was like an operation.
Yeah.
And we don't know if that's true or not yet, but if it is, that's bad.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's going to be fun to see what other details leak out on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Why are you smirking like that?
Well, nothing. No reason. You just look like Thomas the Train Engine right now.
One of my first college Halloween costume, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, you looked good in it.
I didn't look great.
Yeah,
Nick
actually,
looked better.
Actually, yeah, those pictures are actually kind of hard to look at.
Yeah, I got some tough acne, some water weight on at the time. I traded the Thomas the Tank Engine outfit for a girl that was wearing a sexy referee outfit.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, there's one pic of that out there.
Nice.
For the holidays.
Are we going to a break, or are we going straight into everything else?
I think we go break and then
awards. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with awards. All right, we have awards coming up. And let me tell you here and now, I did not know who won what until I sat down at my desk this morning. Been so inundated with all this nonsense and going on interviews and TV stations. One TV station interviewed me, Jake, and then they just posted the interview as a tweet thread. I was like, we need to weed out what shows I go on. I had to talk. We got to do some searching with Bill. They said it was a TV interview, and they just posted the videos on Twitter. What the fuck's that about? It's a waste of my time. Another interview I did in Canada, they just didn't air it because the impeachment trials ran long or something like that. And it's like, God damn it.
Can't trust those Canadians, man.
I'm not making any breakdowns because I'm taking all these interviews. So anyway, I didn't know who won. Do you want to do Cy Young first? Because that's kind of what I looked at the notes you put in the sheet, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, and chronologically, we are a cron pod.
We've always been a cron pod, and the true ones know that.
The Cy Young came out on Wednesday, and let's check the easy box first. In the National League, Jacob deGrom won back-to-back NL Cy Young for your New York Metropolitans. They've got a couple NL East trophies to hold on it. They just need to get that ring now. Some of that's not true, but good for deGrom. He's a stud, and I don't know. Is he kind of underrated in baseball?
No, I don't think so. He just has the Mets effect where people are like, oh, and deGrom.
Yeah, that's true. Because it was, I don't know. I guess it's just funny because all of the end of 2018 was people rabidly defending deGrom or Keith Olbermann being a human idiot. And they were saying he's got the best number. Don't look at the wins, people. And most of baseball was like, we're not. We'll look at the ERA and the other stuff. We got it. We're all over it. So it's kind of funny that there's that full defense of him. And then we talked about last podcast, I don't know, you just looked at the number at the end of the year and I don't know, we always expect Ryu would step up and finish strong, or maybe Scherzer was coming up and he got hurt and it was like, well, here's deGrom's here again. Let's do it.
It's deGrom's to win. Yeah, it's funny that we thought there might be a shot. And then we looked at it and we were like, last episode, oh, well, that's deGrom's. So good for the baseball writers. Oh, let me go into the voting. I forgot. I love going into the individual voting.
I didn't hear any crazy Cy Young votes. There is one silly National League MVP vote that I doubt you've heard of, so I'm excited to share that coming up in a little bit.
Good. No, Yahoo Sports MLB was suspended. That's where they were posting who voted for who. The fuck?
Tough.
How did that happen?
Tough break.
Okay, Jake, can we talk about the? I'll dig into the votes and then we'll talk about.
Well, I'll let you find your votes on your voting websites. Jim, in the AL, Justin Verlander, one of the great pitchers of this decade, and the second best pitcher on his team this year, won the American League Cy Young.
Yeah, this kind of shocked us. We both thought it should definitely be Cole. And I'm trying to look at the stats and figure out why it's not Cole, you know?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good question.
Like, what did these voters see besides maybe Verlander's been around longer? Verlander's been nicer to them. I hope that didn't come into play. Obviously, it comes into play. You'd be naive to think it doesn't. All right, so here's what I got. I'm going to make the case. I'm going to act as a voter voting for Verlander, and I'm going to make the case for Verlander.
Ooh, this is fun.
This is like high school debate.
This is debate team.
In high school, they put us on two sides and like cats and dogs debate, and they put me on the cat side, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, you just lost a participant.
They're like, no, it's they're like, no, Jimmy, it's like this is what we're learning, how to debate something you don't believe in. And I said, that sounds very wrong and dumb. Why would you teach kids to do that?
Yeah.
You want me to just lie for the point of lying? Like, this is a real class in high school. I was very upset by it. Teacher kind of was like, well, that's what debate is. And I was like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
It is. Anyway, I'm going to do it. Verlander. Okay, Jake, he's older.
See, you could have used that right now.
He comes with more wisdom.
The teacher was right.
No, he's older and he comes with more wisdom. Point one, okay?
Okay. 1 point.
Well, he won one more game than Garrett Cole.
Huge.
21 wins. He played in one more game than Garrett Cole. So now we have the scales
10.2 more innings.
Yes, more innings.
Lower whip.
He had 2 more complete games, and he had a complete game shutout and a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Wonder how much that plays. He gave up less hits and less walks. And
higher WAR, Jim. He's a WAR guy.
Is this balks? He had no balks.
Ooh.
Garrett Cole had 3 balks. That's huge.
Huge.
And lower whip, you covered that. Lower home run to 9? Really? He gave up 7
that
more.
Can't be right.
He gave up 7 more. Oh, hits per 9.
Hits per 9.
Higher home run per 9. And more, no, less strikeouts. So that's what that's, I guess, was enough. It's pretty close. It's closer than I originally thought, but.
It's very close. I mean, Cole has the ERA by .08, which again, I mean, that's super tight, and ERA is ERA is ERA. The bigger things for Cole is like, I mean, he didn't lose like all summer. I think it was Mike Wilbon, someone that's not a pure baseball guy but a good sports person, and he was like, "Hey, it's the sport of the summer," and Garrett Cole didn't lose. He rode that winless streak from the start, end of April or end of May, whatever it was. I don't know. You're right. I mean, when you just look at the numbers on paper, I mean, it is very tight, and Justin Verlander's very good, but I don't know. Cole was just dominant, and I think, like, if you took a poll on the Astros, they'd say Cole, and if you took a poll around the league, like, if you were a batter, who would you least want to face? I think it's easily Cole. This year.
I agree. I mean, Cole was the dude. He had a winless, or he didn't lose a game for like the second half of the season.
Yeah.
It's like 16 in a row.
Yeah, I get the numbers mixed up in my head now because it carried into the playoffs and they started doing that thing. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think when we look back at this in a decade, like, you'll say, like, yeah, those stats are there, and maybe the Verlander no-hitter is a thing in this, which seems kind of ridiculous, because the stats are pretty similar face level, but I don't know, if you were in it, you'd know that it was Garrett Cole all day.
Okay, so I have a guy that we need to take his vote away from him.
Okay,
so you know my rule about this. If you're not
Lose your vote for a year.
Yeah. I don't know what the standards are. If you're like in the 1% that didn't vote the same way as everyone else, you lose your vote for a year.
Sure.
It's called the dummy penalty.
Yeah.
So
if you, what should we say? If you have a guy, like if you don't give a guy who gets a first place vote, a top 3 vote or something, you should lose your vote. Something around that. We'll learn it.
We'll learn it. But it's definitely called the dummy suspension. And Mark Wicker from the Southern California News Group, he gets the dummy suspension. And I'll play the dummy suspension sound effect we have.
Thank you.
Well, it was pretty quiet. Could you hear it?
It was really quiet. I did not hear it. Gong. He went gong. Okay.
Gong. Yeah. I just hit the T button, saw what played. His name, did I say his name already? Mark Wicker. He is the Los Angeles Dodgers beat reporter and the only person to vote Ryu as a first place winner in the National League.
So we're going to the National League.
That's what I have up. Every single person voted DeGrom besides the LA writer who wanted the LA guy to get it. Dunce, dummy suspension.
Dunce, dummy suspension. Okay, so we're done with the AL. We're on to the NL. We have our dunce, dummy suspension out. That's tough. That's tough. But we'll see you in 2 years, that guy.
Mm-hmm. Did you see Sonny Gray got some votes?
Yeah, Sonny got a couple votes. Soroker got a couple votes. Flaherty, Strasburg, Kirby Yates. Like, that's a tough one. Like, the Kirby Yates person should lose their vote.
Who voted for Kirby Yates, and where'd they put him?
Patrick Corbin got a vote?
Who
it's
voted
like,
for
guys?
Wait, what? Yates got a 4th place vote from Mark Wicker, the same dude.
No.
The same dude had Yates 4th and Ryu 1.
Can you tweet it, Mark Wicker? I think we hit the level.
No, I have too many.
With Ryu, I was okay, but Jim, Ryu and Yates?
He got.
The people need to know.
He got Flaherty 3rd, which is fine. Dude, Mark Wicker, what's your deal?
Who gave Corbin a vote? Can you get that one quick?
Yeah, I can because my eyes are...
Got to be a DC guy, right?
Human detective work. Corbin, do you know what spot, what place he got voted?
I think it was like the minimum vote he could get. He got 1 point.
Did they vote for like 6th place or they just vote top 5?
I don't have a vote anymore.
I don't think he got a top 5 vote.
Okay.
So he must have got like a 6th place vote. Why would they vote on like your 6th best person?
He had 1. Yeah, and that's so a couple people reached out and they were asking like, what's the solution? Because we've with like the manager of the year, you know, we saw Terry Francona got 1 random 2nd place vote. I don't know. The best solution in my head is like, let's do a primary and get it down to 3 candidates, and then you can only pick those guys. Does that make sense, or does my brain too simple?
No, that makes sense to me.
Okay, cool. Primary. Learn that one in the history classes.
Yeah, it's good shit. So you said there's something funny in the AL MVP, but let's not move there yet. I want to look at the AL. It wasn't the AL Cy Young you were talking about, was my question.
No, there's one comical vote in the NL Cy Young, and now I'm hoping it's that same guy, or the NL MVP, and I'm hoping it's that same guy.
You know, Mark Wicker?
Mark Wicker.
Dude, Yahoo Sports had all these up so easily, and now I can't find them. I don't know what website has them. If anyone in the chat knows what website has who voted for who, I can't find it. It's very bothersome. All right. So in the end,
Should we go to MVP?
We're fine with Verlander winning in the end. I thought I was going to be a little more disappointed. It does suck that like Verlander's already won one and Garrett Cole like was the best pitcher in the AL, but somehow didn't win it.
Yeah, and I guess, and this ties into the voting a little bit. I kind of want to see AL MVP votes because I feel like Garrett Cole got AL MVP votes. which I don't know. That would be kind of ironic. Like if he has more AL MVP votes than Verlander, which I think he does, but he didn't win the Cy Young. I don't know. Like you're right. It's nothing to throw your arms up about, but like I don't know. If you were a part of this season, it was Cole.
Mark Wicker. I saw someone tweeting about him. I'm sure he's getting some not fun times.
Wicker leaks.
Wicker leaks. All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll do the MVP.